Why is LeBron James, perhaps the greatest player of all time, laughing at non-All-Star Jay Crowder as he simply destroys him in Game 3 of the opening round of the 2021 playoffs? Because of beef. Let's travel back in time to get some context. 2015, 6 years prior, Crowder and James faced off in the opening round of the playoffs. It was the year of LeBron's glorious homecoming. After winning 2 rings in Miami, he returned to Cleveland and promised a championship to a city that had almost forgotten the meaning of the word. Crowder was traded to Boston mid-season after playing about 10 minutes a game in Dallas. So they're different. And they had no beef in this series, but it's worth talking about because Crowder kind of made his career in this series with his defense on LeBron. And okay, decent isn't the highest compliment, but this is a second-round draft pick defending a guy who we call the King with no qualms. Before going up against LeBron on a big stage, Crowder was unknown and seemed destined to be a journeyman at best. But by Game 4, he was bumped up to a starting spot, and after the series, the Boston press declared he'd found his place in the league. How'd he do so well on LeBron? He got physical. And maybe a little irritating. James likely didn't love the rough play, but he was used to it. And how upset could James really be? He put up big numbers and the Cavs swept the Celtics. So, whatever. Okay, let's jump ahead to 2017. Eastern Conference Finals, Crowder and LeBron meet again. Still no beef here, but we're getting pretty close. Things are different now. James had fulfilled his promise to Cleveland to win a title and was gunning for more. Crowder was more established and more respected. The Celtics forward was expected to bother James, but not stop him, don't be ridiculous. But, Game 3? Crowder did kind of stop him. See? LeBron didn't give Crowder any credit, but other people did. Crowder even gave James a little attitude while forcing one of LeBron's 6 turnovers. But LeBron literally shrugged it off. And the Cavs won the series, so LeBron's okay. The following summer was a big one for the Cavs. And one of the players the Cavs got from the Kyrie trade? Jay Crowder. That could be interesting. Crowder certainly didn't mind being traded to a title frontrunner. People thought he'd be good for the Cavs, too. LeBron didn't love the trade, but mostly because he wasn't consulted and because he wanted to keep Kyrie around. And James was proven right pretty quickly. The Cavs weren't winning and had no team chemistry. Crowder was having a rough time. He'd lost his mother in the offseason, which caused him to miss some training, and he wasn't in ideal shape. He also struggled to find his place in the offense. Part of that was his three-point shooting failed him. Part of it was that Cleveland's offense centered around James and didn't really have one spot for Crowder to fit. By January, he was out of the starting lineup. But LeBron didn't seem to hold it against him. When Crowder did get a big shot to fall, James posted a nice little shout-out on Instagram. And Crowder said thank you with a post of his own. So, things were good, right? They were pals, even though the team was a little embarrassingly bad, right? Oh. Conventional wisdom was that for this trade, LeBron wasn't just consulted, he was pulling the strings. Hey, his team was losing, could you blame him? Maybe if you're Jay Crowder and just lost your chance to be on a title contender, you could. Now on the Jazz, Crowder got a little passive-aggressive, essentially saying he wasn't having fun in Cleveland with a not-great group of guys. And he hated the non-system LeBron-first offense Cleveland played. Shortly after the trade, LeBron also had a quote that sure seemed like he was saying the departing Cavaliers didn't work hard, which might have hit Crowder pretty heavily as he was admittedly a touch out of shape, because his mother's death impacted his training. But look, our beef at this point is based on speculation and reading into quotes, so let's jump ahead to the 2020 finals. LeBron's a Laker now, and after an injury-filled, playoff-missing 2019 season, he was back in the finals with new co-star Anthony Davis. Crowder bounced around a bit and landed in Miami in the middle of the 2020 season, where he had a little resurgence. He worked his way into a starting spot by making a lot of threes. Sure, he's not the Heat's star player, but he's a huge reason they made it to the bubble finals. On the biggest stage yet, James and Crowder would face off. Though Crowder wouldn't be the only Heat player to guard James. The end of this quote mentions how many fouls Miami will have against LeBron because everyone knew the only way they could possibly stop James was by getting rough and tough. And Crowder did. Here's an example from the first half of Game 1. The ball was over here while Crowder moved James. And in the second half, he slapped a dead ball from his adversary, which James didn't seem to appreciate. What's LeBron saying here? He insulted his size? They're both gigantic humans. This is terrible trash talk. But it did seem like Crowder was under LeBron's skin. A lot of irritants have tried to do that in the past without success. I guess Crowder's a little different. Though, post-game, LeBron denied that, simply saying Jay Crowder was like every other individual I've been against in this playoff run. In other words, Crowder's not special. All that buzz back in 2015 and 2017 about how he's good against me, you know, his claim to fame? Nah, he's just like everybody else. Game 4, Crowder decided to be a little less like everyone else and more like a Fight Club participant. There was this headshot with the score tied and 6 minutes to play. About 30 seconds later, he threw him down again. LeBron had 45 seconds to recover before he was shoved over the edge. Now he's angry. And no one was convinced these were simply hard play fouls. These seemed like beef fouls. Perhaps revenge fouls for getting traded from a title team. But hey, the Lakers won in 6 games, so until they meet again, the very next year in the opening round of the playoffs. LeBron was still with the Lakers, Crowder was now on the Suns, and the Suns were the 2 seed while the reigning champion Lakers had injury trouble and were just the 7th seed. But nobody put too much stock on the seedings. The team with these guys was favored to win. And in Game 3, with the series tied 1-1, we found out that LeBron James maybe didn't consider Jay Crowder just like everyone else. Because LeBron James was really, really mean to Jay Crowder. In the fourth, the Lakers were crushing, up 19, and on an inbound play, Crowder was all up on LeBron, in his face and also body. LeBron responded by backing him down, laughing at him, and then destroying him with ease while his friends laughed and cheered and mocked. 30 seconds later, LeBron got meaner. He taunted Crowder, saying he stinks, either literally or metaphorically, then immediately flopped on him and got the call. Then he ran around the court laughing. LeBron James, GOAT, was having a great time humiliating non-All-Star Jay Crowder. It's especially mean because Crowder was already frustrated. He'd been freezing cold this series. You know how sometimes people like to root for the underdog? That was not the case here. The internet delighted in James's disrespect of Crowder. Sometimes it's more fun to side with the cool popular guy. But in Game 4, well, Crowder won that round. In the final period, he clobbered James from behind. It wasn't called flagrant, but a lot of people thought it should have been, including the commentators.
This grabbing people around the neck and the shoulders, to me, that it's not even looked at.
The broadcast referee.
It's not a basketball play, and it really is unnecessary.
And LeBron James himself, who was fairly pissed. Looks like he said, "Get the fuck off me," and maybe also called Crowder a bitch right here, but I'm no lip-reading expert. For his part, Crowder simply stared back at LeBron with an expression that seemed to say, "I'm not intimidated, but maybe you should be." It harkened back to 2017 when Crowder stole the ball and gave James a much shorter stare, but that time James just shrugged it off. What a difference 4 years makes. So, like I said, Crowder won that round. He riled up LeBron, got to tackle him from the neck with minimal consequences. Phoenix won the game to tie up the series. Oh, and he finally had a good game. Sure, the Suns get called a dirty team, and a lot of that was because of Crowder's near-flagrant fouls, but that's no bother.
Do you feel the need to defend yourselves from comments like that?
No, I don't feel like we need to respond to it.
Jumping ahead to Game 6, because this is where Crowder wins another, much more important round, the Suns eliminated the Lakers from contention. Crowder was effective, too. 18 points, all from beyond the arc, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks, both on James. With 30 seconds left in the game and the Lakers' elimination all but official, Crowder did a little hula dance that felt really familiar. Ah, there it is. A Mountain Dew commercial where LeBron got to be happy and carefree and silly. Now it was Crowder's turn to be happy and carefree and kind of called James's little commercial dance stupid all at once. He got to gloat, and LeBron had to go home. Crowder relished his personal victory. He posted a photo compilation that began with his dance and included his stare down. The caption is an expression about an underdog turning the tables, and it's another repurposing of LeBron's content. LeBron posted that same expression back in May, referring to the Lakers' playoff momentum after an injury-plagued regular season. "Where's your momentum now?" Crowder asked. The internet loved Crowder's dancing, maybe because it was vengeance for getting bullied. I guess now people were on board with the underdog. Wait, is he the underdog if the Suns won? The internet just likes insults, I think. Feel free to prove me wrong in the comments. It's hard to imagine James enjoyed any of this. He was at a low point in his career. Right after elimination, the King was kind of like, I'm tired. He had never been eliminated in the first round before. This was LeBron's first playoff defeat to someone other than the Warriors since 2014. Of course, in 2019, he didn't make the playoffs at all. That was worse. But, both these crappy seasons were while he was on the Lakers. And recent. When LeBron missed a bunch of games at the start of the 2022 season, it made you wonder. With that context, Crowder's dancing looks a little more like grave dancing. But James didn't harp on the beef or even bring it up again. Perhaps because he knew it was not the end of LeBron James as we knew him. Or perhaps he just didn't want to give Jay Crowder the satisfaction. Whatever the reason, future meetings between the two have been beefless. When there was chatter that Crowder might be traded to the Lakers in the 2023 season, nobody thought the beef would be a real issue. If together they could win a championship, bygones, hard fouls, humiliations, and even dances would be bygones. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Beef History. And congratulations. Yeah, why not? We've got more videos right here. You can subscribe by clicking up here. And for Secret Base, I'm Clara Morris. Good night and good game.